You wake up and your neck is stiff. Your lower back aches, your fingers are faintly numb, and almost without thinking, you do what most people over 60 do. You attribute it to age. You got older. Things hurt now. That is simply how it is. But what if the explanation is not age at all? What if the damage is happening every single night, in the position your body settles into for 7 or 8 hours, and the symptoms you have been dismissing as inevitable are actually the predictable result of sustained mechanical pressure on your spine, your nerves, and your blood vessels? That is not a dramatic claim. It is basic physics applied to human anatomy. When you hold any joint in a compressed or distorted position for 8 hours, every night, for years, the cumulative effect on cartilage, nerve tissue, and circulatory flow is measurable. The reason it feels like aging is because the damage accumulates slowly and the symptoms emerge gradually, the same way aging does. The mechanism, however, is entirely different, and unlike aging, it can be corrected. Think about what that distinction actually means. The stiffness that makes it hard to turn your head while reversing the car, the shoulder that wakes you at 2 in the morning, the lower back that takes 40 minutes to loosen up before you feel like yourself. These are not the fixed costs of getting older. For many people, they are the predictable result of the same position repeated for thousands of nights. And the people who figure this out, who make a few deliberate adjustments and stick with them, often describe the change not as dramatic, but as a quiet return. They wake up and simply feel ready. Not stiff, not braced. Ready. Japanese orthopedic physicians have studied sleep positioning as a clinical discipline for decades. In a medical culture that takes functional longevity seriously, where maintaining independence and mobility well into one's 80s is treated as a medical objective rather than a lucky outcome. The hours spent lying down are not considered passive recovery time. They are 8 hours of either restoration or gradual structural damage, depending entirely on what the body is doing while the mind is asleep. In this video, we are going to go through 4 sleeping positions that are quietly working against you, not because they feel painful, most of them do not, at least not at first, but because of what they do to the cervical spine, the lumbar curve, the brachial nerves in your shoulders and arms, and the circulation in your lower body over thousands of cumulative nights. 3 of these positions are likely familiar. But the 4th one, the position that most people assume is safe because it feels natural and comfortable, is the one I want you to pay particular attention to. A clinical study tracking adults over 60 found that this specific position was associated with measurable acceleration of nerve compression and morning joint stiffness. I will give you the full details at the end because the study findings and what they mean practically deserve your full attention. Before we begin, take a moment and leave a comment telling me your age and where in the world you are watching from. I read every one, and it genuinely helps me understand who I am making these videos for. Let us start with position number 1. Position 1, sleeping on your stomach. Most people who sleep on their stomach have been doing it since childhood. It is familiar, it feels secure. And that familiarity is precisely what makes it so difficult to identify as a problem, because by the time it starts causing damage, the habit is deeply ingrained and the symptoms have been present for so long they no longer register as unusual. When you lie face down, your head must rotate to one side to allow you to breathe. There is no alternative. Your cervical spine, the 7 vertebrae running from the base of your skull down to your shoulders, is held in that twisted position for the entire night. The muscles on one side of your neck are compressed and bunched. The muscles on the other side are pulled long. The joints between the vertebrae are loaded unevenly, and the nerves running down into your arms and hands are being tugged in opposite directions, hour after hour, while you sleep. In a younger person, this produces stiffness that clears by mid-morning. In someone over 60, whose intervertebral discs, the soft cushioning pads between each vertebra, have already lost a portion of their fluid content and elasticity with age, the compression is more direct. The disc has less capacity to absorb and redistribute the load. Over time, the result is accelerated wear on the facet joints, which are the small paired joints at the back of each vertebra that guide movement and bear weight, along with progressive narrowing of the nerve exit channels. If you wake most mornings with neck stiffness, shoulder tightness, or a vague ache that runs into one arm, stomach sleeping is almost certainly a contributing factor. The fix takes 30 seconds to set up. Place a pillow lengthwise along one side of your body. This gives you something to hold, which satisfies the physical impulse that pulls many stomach sleepers into that position. It also allows you to rest on your side rather than your front, which immediately removes the rotational stress from your cervical spine. Position 2. Sleeping flat on your back without lumbar support. Back sleeping is widely recommended, and for good reason. It distributes body weight more evenly than any other position and keeps the spine in rough alignment. But there is a detail that most general advice leaves out, and for adults over 60, it is not a small one. The lumbar spine, your lower back, does not lie flat. It has a natural inward curve, a gentle arch that keeps the vertebrae properly stacked and the discs between them under balanced pressure. When you lie flat on a firm surface with no support under that curve, gravity slowly flattens it. The lower back muscles that normally hold that arch in place have switched off for sleep. There is nothing to maintain the curve but the mattress beneath you, and a flat mattress does not follow the shape of your spine. What this means over the course of a night is that the lumbar discs, which are already under greater compressive load in most older adults due to decades of sitting and reduced disc height, are being held in a slightly flexed position for hours at a time. The muscles wake up in a shortened, overworked state. The discs themselves, which rehydrate and decompress during sleep, cannot fully do so when the spine is not in its natural position. Japanese sleep medicine practitioners address this directly and practically. The traditional recommendation is a small, supportive roll, firm enough to hold its shape, placed in the gap between the lower back and the mattress, that restores the lumbar curve passively while you sleep. A rolled towel works. A specifically designed lumbar support cushion works better. The key is that the support should fill the gap without pushing the back upward. It is there to maintain the natural curve, not to create a new one. The distinction between this position and the first matters because they damage different structures through different mechanisms. Stomach sleeping rotates and compresses the cervical spine through muscular asymmetry. Flat back sleeping collapses the lumbar curve through the absence of support. One is active damage, the other is passive, which is why it is so easy to overlook. Position 3. The curled fetal position. Side sleeping, as a general category, is among the better choices for older adults. But the version of it that most people actually practice, knees pulled up toward the chest, spine curved into a tight C shape, chin tucked toward the collarbone, is a different matter entirely. When the thoracic spine, the middle section of your back, running from the base of the neck down to the lower ribs, is held in sustained forward flexion for hours, the muscles along the back of that curve are kept in a lengthened, low-tension state. They are not working, they are simply stretched. Meanwhile, the discs and the connective tissue at the front of the spine are under sustained compressive load. Over years, this pattern contributes directly to the rounding of the upper back that physicians describe as thoracic kyphosis, the forward hunch that many older adults develop gradually and attribute simply to age. There is also a practical consequence that goes beyond the spine. Tight hip flexors, the muscles that run from the front of the lumbar vertebrae down through the pelvis and attach to the top of the thigh, are kept in a shortened position all night. By morning, they pull the pelvis forward when you stand, which increases the arch in your lower back and loads the lumbar joints unevenly. The lower back pain that many people feel upon rising is often this mechanism expressing itself. The correction is a matter of degree, not direction. Keep side sleeping, but extend the position. A pillow placed between the knees keeps the hips level and prevents the top leg from pulling the spine into rotation. Let the top leg rest roughly parallel to the lower one, rather than drawing it sharply upward. When you do that, the spine stays long, the hip flexors stay neutral, and the thoracic curve stops being exaggerated night after night. Position 3 damages the mid and lower spine through sustained flexion, a progressive compression at the front of the vertebrae. Position 4 works through an entirely different mechanism, and it is the one that surprises most people, because it is a position that looks, from the outside, like it should be perfectly fine. Position 4, side sleeping with the arm tucked underneath. At the beginning of this video, I told you that one position deserves particular attention, not because of what it does to the spine, but because of what it does to something most people never think to protect while they sleep. The problem is not the spine, it is the arm. When you sleep on your side, the natural tendency, especially among older adults who find shoulder comfort harder to maintain, is to slide the lower arm underneath the body or the pillow, or to extend it out in front at an elevated angle with the shoulder rolled forward. Both of these variations place the brachial plexus under sustained compression or tension. The brachial plexus is the network of nerves that runs from the lower cervical spine down through the shoulder and into the arm. It is the nerve highway that controls sensation and movement in your entire upper limb. When that nerve network is compressed for hours by body weight, or stretched tight by a shoulder held in a forward-rolled, elevated position, the consequences are familiar to most people over 60, even if they have never connected them to sleep. The arm that goes numb during the night, the hand that tingles upon waking, the shoulder that aches in a way that is difficult to localize. These are not circulation problems. They are nerve compression events, repeated nightly. I want to be precise here because this is where the study I mentioned at the outset becomes relevant. Researchers followed adults between the ages of 60 and 78 over an 18-month period. They found that participants who regularly slept with the lower arm tucked beneath the torso or pillow reported significantly higher rates of what they called persistent morning paresthesia, the tingling and numbness that lingers well beyond the first few minutes of waking, sometimes for an hour or more. More notably, imaging in a subset of participants showed measurable changes in the soft tissue structures of the shoulder, consistent with low-grade repetitive compression, not a single acute injury. Gradual, cumulative, quiet damage of exactly the kind this video is about. The correction requires only a small adjustment in how you position the lower arm. It should rest alongside the body, angled slightly downward, with the shoulder gently rolled back rather than forward. The upper arm rests on the pillow or a second support cushion positioned in front of the chest. This keeps the brachial plexus in a neutral, unloaded position for the entire night. It takes a few nights to feel natural. Most people who make this adjustment report that the morning numbness either reduces significantly or disappears within 1 to 2 weeks. That is the mechanism working in reverse, not damage accumulating, but tissue recovering. The same gradual process running in the right direction. Let me bring this together before we close. Stomach sleeping keeps the neck twisted to one side all night. It wears down the joints and compresses the nerves that run into your arms. Flat back sleeping without support under the lower spine prevents the discs from fully decompressing. The muscles wake up already working. The curled fetal position rounds the mid-back and shortens the hip muscles overnight. That is what drives the forward hunch and the morning lower back stiffness that so many people have simply accepted. And side sleeping with the arm tucked underneath presses on the nerve network running through your shoulder. That is where the nighttime numbness and the lingering morning tingling come from. None of these are permanent. Everyone has a correction, and not one of them requires anything more than a pillow or a rolled towel. Full details on each adjustment are in the description below this video. If you found this useful, please share it with someone you care about. The people most affected by these patterns are often the least likely to go looking for information about them. And leave a comment telling me which of these 4 positions you recognize in yourself and which one you are going to correct tonight. I read every comment, and your responses genuinely shape what I make next. Thank you for spending this time with me. Small changes, made consistently, are how the body recovers. You have everything you need to start tonight.